Okay, this is my basic fish fingers guide for absolute beginners slash the mentally handicapped like Tat who can't get the hang of this game. So first things first is enter the lobby before 5 minutes ago, so there's 1 minute 30 left. You get a hint from the fisherman. He says trout on the beach, they like red shellfish, so that's shrimp. I'm not a fish person, so trout. Where is it? Where I wasn't paying much attention. Trout, beach, and shrimp. Not going to type it in because he's doing the compile. First things first, you need to join the Fish Flingers friends chat. Two fling fish, world 89, and you get the hint and you type it in there. So Desi Boys is doing the hints, and that's what he's come up with so far. So if you look here, you get salmon at the river, the bait is maggots, you know the hook is either bone or wooden, and the weight is 3 or 4. It's not both 3 or 4, it's one or the other. But the hints this guy gives you isn't precise enough. He'll only tell you if it's a medium weight, a heavy weight, or low weight. So low weight would mean 1 or 2, medium 3 or 4, heavy weight 5 or 6. So you just got to test out the 3 or the 4 and see which one it is. He also doesn't tell you the exact hook sometimes. He'll say a non-metal hook in this case, which means it's either bone or wooden, not the other 4 metal ones. But sometimes he does give you the exact hook like there where it says it's slim. So now the game has started. You want to go dock first, so it's herring. So you want grey moth, a standard, and where am I looking? And it's either a 5 or a 6. So you want to look up here now. Now, I'm on 66%, which means wasn't using heavy enough weights. See, the weights do add up, but you can't use one weight twice. So it's 83%, so I'm mostly much closer. So now I'll try a total weight of 5. This is telling me what fish I'm catching. This tells me where I am, the habitat, which is the docks. See, now we're 100%. This tells me the weight. This tells me the hook I'm using. This tells me the bait. Don't pay attention to the weight. The weights just help with tickets. Up here, that's the heaviest fish you've caught. Don't pay attention to that. That's the total fish you've caught. Helps with tickets, but don't pay attention to that. The one in brackets is a big fish. Catch 3 big fish and you get a extra medal, but for first timers, don't pay attention to that quite yet. Total weight, that's the total weight of all the fish I've caught. That helps you more with tickets, and that's the total assists. That's something you do need to pay attention to. You want to get 6 assists to get a medal. So I've done the herring, so if I were to turn this off, it would say I've discovered 1 of the 6 at 100%. You've got to get them at 100%. So there's another one at the docks, which is the pikes. That's a green moth, double, and 3-4. So I'll try, what was it, a green moth, did they say? Yes, so I've caught a pike at 100%, so that's 2 of them I've done. You won't get more than 2 at one location. There's 4 locations, and there's a fish at every location, so 2 locations are doubled up. Now moving on to here, I want to check what's at the lake. Bass is at the lake, that's cray, large, and 1 or 2. So crayfish, that's either a 1 or a 2, and that's a large hook. So I'll cast it out there. That's obviously the time left. That's the amount of fish I've been taken out. That's basically, you don't worry about this until it reaches 100%, and then that turns to a 1. As soon as there's a 1, that means there's barely any fish left in the location, which means I'm hooked onto a big fish there. So other people will help me. The more people helping, the quicker you get the fish up. So what was I saying? I've forgotten what I was saying now. Doesn't really matter too much. So yes, I've got bass, and there's only 1 bass. There's only 1 fish at this location, so I can move on. So I should say 1, since there's a bit of a lag time between catching the big fish when it says 1. Well, I lost the fish. No, I got the fish. And see, helping out on that, those bubbles help me get a total assist. You obviously got to get 6 of those to get the medal. So now at the river, looking here, it's salmon, so I need maggots, bone or wood, and 3 or 4. There'll be a more precise one down here, will there? Or maybe there's not. So river, maggots, bone, W, or 3 or 4. So maggots, and it was a bone or a wood. So you just got to look up here. I'm starting to catch salmon, so it's only 66, so I'll try using the wood instead. See if it goes higher or not. Higher, but it's still not 100%, so I'm going to try a way of... I was using the wrong weights then. Try changing it, it's either 3 or 4, isn't it? So keep fishing and see when the next one comes. It's 83, so still not 100, so I've just got to toggle it around. And voila, that's salmon done. So if I look here, I've got 4 out of the 6 done at 100%, that's key. You want to help these people as they go along. This guy can't spell help. So it's 10-minute games, almost halfway through, but I've got 4 of the 6 fish done. And there we go. So now moving up to the beach, it's cricket slim 6. So cricket. Slim hook, and that's this. So yeah, so you don't know if I mentioned this already. The weights, you can get between 1 and 6. The weights add up, but you can't use the same weight twice. So now I've caught that 100%. Now there's one last fish at the beach, and that's a herring. That's a grey moth, standard and 5. So grey moth, standard, and the 2 plus 3 is 5. What am I missing? So if I look here, wait one sec. Wait, what am I doing wrong here? Beach, cricket, slim 6. Wait, I've already done cod. What am I after? What's the other beach one? Trout. Bone W 1 2. Wait, where's the trout calls? Trout beach. No accurate trout calls. Here's the latest one. Beach, shrimp, bone 2. So it's a bone, it's a weight of 2, and it's a shrimp. Because all the formulas for the fish are the same for everyone. And see, now I've got 6 out of 6. As the game goes on, the compilers get more accurate, so rather than it being either a 3 or a 4, you'll find out if it's definitely which one of the 2 it is. They'll get the exact hook right. You want to do it in the order I've done it, because that's you want to start the closest ones and move out further. I've got to start getting my assists up, there's only 2. Ooh, I clicked away too soon. I still got it. Come on. You don't want to worry about the heaviest weights until the heavier a fish is, the more tokens you'll get. We don't want to worry about big fish until 3 or 4. After you've done 3 or 4 games and heavy fish, sorry. Until you've done 3 or 4 games, and you can quickly switch through all the locations. So I've got assist with 1 more. See, now I've assisted with 6. That's 1 medal. I've got 2 big fish by myself. Now the trick to catching big fish is you want to be on a spot on your own. Actually, I might be catching the heaviest, I don't know. You want to be in your own. If you share a spot with someone else, they have a chance of, there's less chance of you getting a big fish. So 2 minutes to go on my own spot, I have a good chance of catching the 3rd big fish. Other tips, ooh, I've hooked a big fish, I was lucky, help. So yeah, as long as you stick to your own spot, you have a good chance. And there we go. There's a little bit of a lag time between it, the updating in brackets. So then there we go. So all this tells me is the heaviest fish I've caught, don't pay attention. So that total fish, which helps with tickets. One sec, this is a new making video for. Total weights, again, only helps with tickets. Total assists, doesn't help with tickets I don't think, but you obviously need it for the medals. Medals are your priorities. So I've gone through this is just the history. That's obviously the amount of fish left in the area, so as soon as I reach 100%, there's a dramatic decrease in the amount of fish you'll pick up in the time. With, was it only a few seconds left, I wouldn't bother switching patches even though it's reached 1. Now I'll get a lot less fish, but it's not worth switching. So, what else is there? Time left. Ratings, heaviest food. Obviously this is the bait, weights, I've explained that. Just hit caster, just ignore the clear line. If you're going to be a good lad, you might want to help people out in the last few minutes. If you're not too interested in reaching high scores and stuff. You want to spend time at the heaviest fish when you can quickly move through the things, so move through the locations. But if you're a bit slow moving through the locations, then you want to stick just to getting through them more quickly than hang around on the last one. So that's the game ended. Now I only got 39. Managed to get 4 medals though, but if you're a noob you should work on getting Junior Angler, Master Angler and Team Player. Whooper is when you get 3 big fish. So well, that just tells you the rankings, that tells you who caught the most fish, total weight, all that. That tells you total weight of all the fish you've caught, the amount of assists, amount of big fish caught. That's the amount of average fish I've caught, and that's the heaviest weight of a fish. Details. That just tells you. That just tells you what the exact formulas were. And I got 26 tokens for that. And the next game doesn't start for about another 8 minutes, so best thing to do would be to leave here. Once you leave here, you won't be able to get back in until there's 5 minutes to go before the game starts. One thing I didn't quite explain at the start was, because I was a bit rushed for time, is you go to that guy standing there and you right click on him and get a hint, and he'll give you a hint. So what he gave me is red shellfish, which is a shrimp. He told me the location. They just give you the location up front, they don't give you, say, some sandy whatever. So they give you the location up front, they give you a little bit of a description of the fish, and then they'll either give you the weight, so they'll say a light, heavy, which means 5 to 6, light 1 to 2, or medium 3 to 4, or something along those lines. And for hooks, they'll either toader hooks, or they say a non-metal hook, which means bone or wooden. I think that's pretty much everything. I can't think of anything else I've left out. I'm sure Tat will, so I think that's everything for basic retards. So we'll see.